Hello and welcome to STEM Club. In this video we're going to see if we can make a vinegar and bicarb rocket. It's bicarb, so I'm Before we get started making our rocket, we're going to do some very simple physics. And that is the fact Newton's third law means for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So if you were to apply a force one way, the same and equal force will go the other way, and that's how a rocket works. You've got an equal amount of force pushing down as you have that pushes the rocket up, and we're going to use that as our basis for how we're going to make our rocket here, because we're going to use our vinegar and bicarbonate of soda reaction that will make the downward force when it produces all the carbon dioxide bubbles of gas. So that's going to be our down reaction, and then hopefully it will then exert the opposite force on something that will make it go flying upwards. So we're going to see if we can get that to work. I've got here a range of items to see if we can make any of these fly, and we've also got our vinegar and bicarb. The first thing we do is just check our reaction is working and see how much vinegar we might want to use. So let's put 10 mils of vinegar in and a spoon of bicarb in. That works fine. In science, you always want to change one thing and measure one thing. So we're going to change how much vinegar we use. So I'm going to double it up to 20. I'm going to use the same amount of bicarbonate of soda, and we're going to see if we get a bigger fizz. Carbonate of soda, and we'll see if this looks like a fizzier reaction. Well, that's definitely fizzed even more than the first one. Now, I'm going to admit I haven't thought of a good way to measure this, but the amount of foam being produced seems to be quite a good measure. So how much clearing up I have to do is what I'm going to measure, and there's definitely more clearing up, so that one's worked better. So let's finally try it with 30. So you can do this as much as you like, working out the best amounts of vinegar and bicarbonate of soda to use to get the maximum amount of fizz, so we've got the maximum propulsion for our rocket to push it into the sky. Whoa! Okay, this is really messy. I need to go and get a bigger cloth now. So that one is definitely the biggest fizz. So more vinegar makes more mess is what I've learnt there. So yep, definitely. So we've definitely learnt actually using a bigger amount of vinegar, even with the same amount of bicarb, is making a good mess here. And so therefore we're going to use lots of vinegar in our reaction. The next item we want to try is what we're going to use as our rocket. So we're going to change what we're using for our rocket, and I'm going to try and keep everything else the same. In order to get our rocket to take off, like we said earlier, we want some kind of downward force that's going to push down one way so that our rocket can fly off the other way. So all the gas from our experiment needs to go down. So whatever you pick, you've got to have some kind of outlet at the bottom. So I've got these test tubes that just came online. So they've got poppable lids. So if something were to pop off, that might work. I've also got a film canister. So again, a poppable lid. This is our water bottle. So that's got a kind of poppable lid. So we'll see if that one might do anything. This bottle, I've put a hole in the bottom, so it's got somewhere for all the gas to shoot out, and then we'll see if that can shoot up into the air as well. And we've also got this tube. So this is from some fizzy tablets, and so that pops off too. First up is this test tube. Now it's really small, so I'm not even sure I'm going to get very much vinegar in there. I'm not even sure that's going to do anything. On the lid, and then I'm just going to put that on. Oh. I'm going to run away. Ah! Well, that one worked really well. Next, we're going to try the slightly bigger test tube. But it's a bicarb, so I'm... Oh! Well, that worked. It wasn't as high though, but we couldn't get as much bicarb in this one. And then I'm just going to very carefully... So I'm going to run. Oh! So as I've already thought about here, I'm going to try one of these glasses just to hold it a bit more stable. Lots of trial and error in science too. So it's never works the first time. And then we're just going to put, oh no, I'm not ready. Ah! Okay, that's on the maybe pile, I think, for now. We'll stop doing that one for now. No, oh. I mean, I think this one we can safely say is the most feeble of all of them. That hasn't that hasn't popped. So I think the lid, because the lid can just gently pop off, it's kind of just done this gentle pop. So that is not going to launch anything to space. So unfortunately, that one is not a usable rocket either. We are going to try this bottle rocket next. I've got high hopes for this one because it's got a nice poppable lid. So I'm hoping that can just pop up and then the gas can fly out of it and the rocket will fly up. So hold on. Is it going to do anything? Oh. No, unfortunately that one is also rejected. Ah! That was quite a big bang. Just going to clear up this mess I've made now. Okay, so I've cleared that mess up, and the next rocket we're going to try is just a bottle here with a little hole in the bottom. So this might work if all the gases come out of that hole fast enough that then the rocket can fly off into the air. Oh, that's fizzing already. Oh. This sounds just like a rocket. I just don't think it's going to take off. For our last try with the rocket, I'm just going to use this bottle, which has got a slightly different lid that can pop, and so we're going to put some vinegar in it and see if that works. Turn on the lid. No, this is another misfire, see? That doesn't work. Misfire. Oh! That one probably will work. Okay, this one looks like we are going to get it to work, but again, like with all science, it's going to take a bit of trial and error working out the best way to do it. So this time I'm going to add my vinegar into the bottle, and then I'm going to put my bicarbonate of soda in a bit of tissue paper just to kind of slow the reaction down, so that when it adds into the vinegar, this piece of toilet paper has to dissolve first and then the reaction will happen. So we're putting in a spoon of bicarbonate, and then that gives me a bit more time to screw the lid on tight. So with some successful experimentation and trial and error, we have managed to get our rocket to fly off into a tree. So that was a very successful rocket launch we have achieved today. I hope you have a go at trying this out at home. And as you can see, it took a lot of trial and error, finding the right bits of equipment, the right amount of bicarb to use, the best way of releasing the bicarb in the rocket. Do share how you've got on. We love to know. You can share what you've been up to in our Twinkl Home Educators Facebook group and on our Instagram as well. You can tag us there, and we look forward to seeing you again soon for more STEM fun. Oh, that hit the tree.